everybody, it's been a while since I've posted a video. I've been kind of sidetracked with my other YouTube channels, and you're welcome to go check those out. Vintiquities, Vintiquities, and Resin Bell is my newest, Belle, Resin Bell is my newest YouTube channel. I'm focusing on resin crafts there. My Vintiquities channel is paper crafts and junk journals, things like that. But today, I am not going to make a mask tutorial. Today, I am just working on some masks, and I'm going to go over some different materials because a lot of materials to make masks are getting harder to find. So, I'm going to give you some ideas, and I'm going to be working on some masks. And, you know, you can debate until the cows come home whether or not a mask that you can make is any good or does any kind of good for anybody. But the truth is that many places around the world, a mask is necessary and mandatory to wear in a public place, which is why I'm making these masks today. My son and my daughter-in-law are stationed in England right now for the next year at least, and they are required to wear face coverings of some kind while they're in public. Now, they don't have, I mean, they're a very young couple, early 20s, 19 and 20, 2021. The years are going past on me. But anyway, they don't have a sewing machine, and they were trying to makeshift something out of t-shirts and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to make some masks and send them to them so that they have something to wear. And I've been watching a lot of videos. You can find all kinds of tutorials on how to make a mask on YouTube and on the internet and stuff. So there's not really any point to making another mask tutorial. But I found a pattern online that was for free, and I tried it out, and I really like the fit. I wish I still had the little piece of paper I had written on. It's been a while where I got this, but anyway, you can find free mask tutorials and free patterns online. You just look left or look right and you'll see 20 of them. So I found a pattern online that I've tried out and I liked. I do recommend that you make one and then decide if you like that pattern or not. Don't make 100 and then decide the pattern is crap. So but materials are getting harder to find. Elastic is getting hard to find. I don't happen to have a lot of fabric on hand. The fabric stores are closed and that kind of thing. So I am repurposing. This is a men's shirt. It is 100% cotton. That's what I have for one layer. Now, I was watching a video. I will try to find it and link it below. I'm not sure exactly if I can find it or not, but I will try. This guy did some testing, and he tried to replicate an N95 mask as best as he could with the materials that he could find. And he found that this material, and I forget what he called it, but I do know I have some. This is a particular kind of material. It's made for, there's all kinds of like shopping bags, reusable shopping bags. Some of them, they use this stuff to make like car covers. It's this funky, textured, it almost looks woven, but when you look through it, as you can see, there's not a lot of, like if you hold cotton up, you can see pinholes through it. But if you hold this up, even though it has like what looks like it might have holes, it's actually a mesh material. And he looked through a microscope and was comparing the different weights of this stuff, and it's very, very close to the material that they use in an N95 mask. Now, obviously, something that they use, there's different grades. Just like there's different weaves of cottons, a wider weave will have more holes and a tighter weave will have less holes. But this is a thinner grade. Obviously, for reusable shopping bags, they make millions of them. It's going to be the lower grade. The ones that you can get, you can buy a car cover, and it's made out of this stuff, and it's a lot thicker and heavier. I found some more of it on this bag, this bedding bag. It's a queen bedding bag, but it has all this vinyl, but at the bottom is more of that same material, and it's actually heavier than the stuff in the reusable shopping bags. Now this stuff is supposedly much better to use than the cotton because it doesn't have as many pinholes and things, so it's a lot better at filtering is what I'm getting at. So you can, wherever you can find that, be creative. If it looks like that and it has that, you know, that reusable shopping bag feel, then that's what it is. You know, it has that funky texture to it. So I'm going to be using some of that as one layer, and I'm going to use the cotton as a second layer, and kind of, because I don't have very much of this stuff, so I'm going to make some like that just for a little extra protection. Now, as far as elastic is very hard to find. I found these Revlon extra large elastics on Amazon. They come 16 to a pack. It's a pretty good size piece of elastic. I think you could probably take one of these and make, you know, use it for two if your mask was a little wider. But the mask that I made, I simply tied them together basically, and then put these two ends inside the mask so that this can go all the way behind the head. You don't have to stick it behind your ears. Those are just a couple of ideas to use for the hair elastics. You can use regular hair elastics. I've got some new shoelaces here. You could make a tie out of some shoelaces. You know, so that's going to make a good tie. You can make a tie out of extra fabric. So there's a lot of options, and they don't all include the elastic behind the ears that's irritating to everyone. So I'm just going to get into this, and I'm going to start cutting out my pieces. And thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you will. I've got some more projects that I am working on, that I'm about to start working on for sewing projects that I'm about to start working on. So I've got 2 spring dresses that I'm going to be making out of upcycled materials. So that's going to be cool. Pretty soon as I can. So yeah, I'm just going to get into this. See you guys at the end. Okay, now I've got all my pieces cut out. I cut out the front pieces. Well, it's actually the inside pieces because you want the cotton towards your face, because this stuff is not the most comfortable stuff in the whole world. But so I've cut 2 layers of each of these out. So like this will be one layer, this will be a second layer, and then this will be the inside of the mask, right? So it kind of goes like that around your face. I'm putting the green on the inside because, you know, nobody wants to wear a big green mask on their face. So putting the navy blue on the outside. My son's in the Air Force, so I thought, you know, that'll work for him. I was able to find that bag, and then this one, the gray, will be on the outside from that garment bag. So the next thing I got to do is just sew those pieces together around here. As far as wire for the nose, this is just some cheap wire I got at the Dollar Tree. It looks like this. They have different colors, but it is like super bendy, really good, but it's heavy enough that it will keep its shape and not bend out. But once you get it in the shape of your nose, it pretty much just stays there. You know, you don't have to worry about it moving, but it's not so stiff that it will, you know, hurt your nose or whatever. So I cut some of that into short lengths, and I rounded the edges with a pair of pliers so that the end of the wire is not digging into your face. You know, you don't have a sharp piece of wire sticking into your face. It's got a nice round edge to it. So that is going to go in the nose after I sew these layers together. Alright, so I've got my 3 layers fitted together, and they are all, these 2 layers, the middle and the back layer. The back layer is going to be the middle layer after we turn it right side out. The front is going to be the back layer, and so it is turned wrong side out. I know this is kind of weird, but the front and the back need to be wrong sides facing out. So basically your right sides are together. So the bottom is pinned and the top is pinned. So I just got to sew around the top to these 2 points right here and here, and sew along the bottom to these 2 points right here and here. Okay, so now I've got my basic mask shape sewn at the top and at the bottom. I know I said this wasn't going to be a tutorial, and it's not really. I'm just showing you what I'm doing so people can maybe get an idea of how to do this. Not necessarily how to, but you know. So I'm going to take the back material, the material that I want on the back side of the mask, and the material that I want on the front side of the mask, and I'm going to split them open right there. Now I'm going to carefully and gently turn this wrong side out, or right side out, through one of the ends. Trying not to pull on the fabric too much. And she's gonna pop open just like that. So now I've got my mask here. Just kind of kind of creasing with my fingernails. You don't want to use an iron on this stuff because it will melt. In fact, that's how the video that I watched, how they showed how he put his together. He didn't sew his. He melted the edges of this stuff to create the shape that he needed. It's a little bit tricky to try to do it that way. And I already had this pattern. He had a different pattern. So I wanted to go ahead and just use this pattern, but use the better stuff. So basically you get a mask that looks very similar to, you know, a good mask. So these will be sewn together with the ties on the ends, and I will be putting the nose piece inside. So I'm going to put it in between the front 2 layers to try to give enough, as much layers between the metal and the face as possible. So I'm going to put it in that front section there. I don't know if you can kind of see this, but you can kind of see the shadow. The shadow nose. The shadow knows. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Alright, so I've just kind of worked that into the nose part there, and it kind of ends right there and ends right there. So then this can be bent to any shape nose to keep that down. Now I'm going to have to sew basically like a little pocket here. Kind of sew pocket, that way that nose piece can't go anywhere like when it gets washed and everything. So that'll be my next step, to sew down each side here and across the bottom. Okay, so now I have sewn that pocket for the nose piece right there. You can see that. See, it's looking pretty good, pretty like a pretty nice mask. These fit very well to the face. And just sewn around that pocket, around here, down the edge, leaving these sides open, because I'm still going to put my elastic in there, down this side, and back to the front to meet that other edge of that pocket that I sewed for the nose piece. So now it's got a nice nose piece that will stay, and I'm ready to do my other ones. Okay, so I've got these all sewn together, and they've all got their little nose piece in, the little pocket. They're all fully sewn and ready to be have the sides added. Now these two, I'm just going to use these. I've got two of these super long. These are new, they're not taken out of shoes, but I've got two of these super long, as you can see, that's doubled up. So what I'm going to do is one piece will go over the head and above the ears. It'll come down around the face, and it'll come down through the mask, and then the bottoms will come out the bottom, and then you'll tie the bottom pieces, the end pieces, around your neck, and that will hold it securely. I think that'll be much more comfortable than elastic. So I've just got to put these, I'm going to double them up a little bit. So this part's just a little bit tricky. Fold this in, fold this one in, and then I can sew down this line right here. Then this part can move in and out as it needs to be adjusted. Okay, I'm done. So this is the mask. It has the headband. So you basically just put the headband down over your ears, slide the mask down, get your hair out of the way. Then you can pull down here to snug up that side, pull up on the mask and down on the drawstring, and then just tie it behind the neck. Works pretty good. And then you clamp the wire. They're very easy to breathe through. I mean, you still have, you know, you still have to draw air through, but it's not coming in the sides or around the bottom or anything. So that's working pretty good. So yeah, pretty happy with how those turned out. It's got some cotton in the background so that it can breathe. So cool. Okay, so overall I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. Pretty nice little masks for my son and my daughter-in-law. So they can just they can wear these because they are in the UK, serving in England. So they have a rule right now. Everyone has to wear face coverings if they're in public, going to the grocery store and whatnot. So I'm sending those to them, reusable face masks. And I made a third one. Didn't turn out quite as good, but I used the elastic for the edges, and I'll probably just use this one for myself for going to, I mean, it's just fine. It's just got a little bit extra fabric here that creates a kind of ding in the nose, but for the most part, it will be just fine, and it fits me snugly, so I'll hang on to that one, and I'll send these to them. And I wish I had more fabric so that I could make more, but that's what I've got. So thanks for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope you've gotten a few tips for materials and things you can use for making your own masks, and I'll see you next time. Bye!